Now, here's some big news in Congress. The Senate just announced and advanced a short-term government funding bill after Manchin considered a defeat on his push to combine the funding with his energy permitting package. This funding bill would also keep the government running through December 16th, easily earning the 60 votes necessary to clear a procedural hurdle during a vote. 72 senators supported moving forward the proposal, and for several weeks, Chuck Schumer has been carefully balancing his promise to Manchin to include Manchin's permitting change proposal on a must-pass bill before the fiscal year ends on September 30th. Despite a growing coalition of members on both aisles vowing to block any short-term funding bill that includes Manchin changes. So Schumer gave assurances to Manchin that in order to secure the West Virginia senators' support, the major political spending and tax bill this summer is the Inflation Reduction Act. In a statement just half an hour before the Senate was set to vote on this bill, Manchin announced that he had requested Schumer to remove language from the bill. Schumer said, Senate Republicans have made clear that they will block legislation to fund the government if it includes bipartisan permitting reform because they've chosen to obstruct instead of work in a bipartisan way to achieve something they've long claimed they wanted to do. Republicans were largely united in their intention to attack and block a funding bill that included Manchin's permitting language. But Republicans were not the only ones working to block the bill when it included Manchin's language. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders had vowed to vote against it too, citing concerns about the adverse environmental impact that speeding up permitting projects for non-renewable energies could have. And also, since the California plans to begin issuing the middle-class tax refund directly to residents and bank accounts, the franchise tax board said that the first batch of payments, also called inflation reduction checks, are set to go out very soon in the month of October. And since the plan to send millions of Californians payments of up to $1,000 was announced months ago, the state agency has been fielding questions from eager residents who could really use the extra money. But the state says if you meet all the requirements, the best thing to do is just wait. You have to be a California resident, have filed your taxes on time in California, and fall under the income limits in order to qualify. According to state officials, the more money you made in 2020, the smaller your inflation relief payments will be. Even if your situation has changed substantially in 2020 and you make less money than you did back then, your payment will be based on your income rather.
Is there objection to proceeding to the measure? Without objection, the committee is discharged and the Senate will proceed.
I know no further debate on the resolution.
Is there further debate? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to.
I ask unanimous consent that the preamble be agreed to and that the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Without objection.
Madam President,
Senator from Vermont.
I have risen today to ask unanimous consent for Senate Resolution 753, expressing the sense of the Senate on the upcoming election in Brazil. This Sunday, October 2nd, Brazil will hold its presidential election. According to many polls, it appears that the two major candidates are President Jair Bolsonaro and former President Lula da Silva. If no candidate receives over 50% of the vote, there will be a runoff election between the top two candidates on October 30th. Madam President, over the past several months, Brazilians from all sectors of society have publicly expressed serious concern about ongoing efforts to undermine democracy in their country, including close to 1 million Brazilians who signed an open letter released on July 26th defending the democratic institutions of Brazil and the rule of law. And there is a very good reason why these people in Brazil signed that letter. And that is that the current president and candidate for re-election, Mr. Bolsonaro, has made some very provocative statements which suggest that he might not accept the election results if he loses.